Hey there, seniors. It's Mrs. Kessler. You are officially 1 week out from taking the SAT test at SCHS. Normally, I would be visiting your classrooms this week, flooding you with reminders about test day. But because class time is shorter this year, I decided a video would be a better use of your time. First, we will go over some frequently asked questions about the test and test day. Student guides were emailed to you last week, and they will be handed out in your English classes this Thursday and Friday for in-person learners, and they will be available in the foyer at SCHS just inside door 1. There is a table that you can pick up your student guide as well. What to bring on test day: number 2 pencils and erasers and an approved calculator. Really, that is it. There's no extra books, sketchbooks. After you finish your test, you just have to sit quietly until the next one begins. What not to bring on test day is your cell phone and smartwatch. Please leave those in your vehicles. Put them in your locker, powered off if they do come into the building. And make sure they are not in your possession, because if they are and the test has started, then your score will be canceled. I get the question a lot about the test directions saying mechanical or use a number 2 pencil, and why can't I use a mechanical pencil? And really, it's pretty simple. Because if your lead breaks in a mechanical pencil, there's metal typically behind it, which could also end up scratching or tearing your test, which would leave it not able to be scored. So really, it's our recommendation, but consider yourself informed if you choose to use a mechanical pencil. And then what do you do if you don't feel well or you're on the quarantine list on test day? Please stay home. If you're experiencing one or more of the COVID-19 symptoms, or you potentially have been exposed, a makeup test will be given on Tuesday, October 27th for any student who was absent on test day. Here is a schedule that we will use. The test, we will begin non-test items at 8 a.m. So doors will open at 7:40 just like they normally do. You will have your temperature taken, and then you will report directly to your testing room. We only will have 3 to 4 students per room. You will have be given a seat upon entry, and we will start with test directions at 8 a.m. So please make sure that you arrive and you know where you're going. I will be emailing out your testing room location later on this week. The test itself then will start at approximately 8:30. We will go through the reading test is 65 minutes long. Then there's a 10-minute break. Writing and language is 35. There are 2 sections of the math test. The first section, students cannot use a calculator for 25 minutes. They take a 5-minute break, and then they come back for 55 minutes of a math test where a calculator is acceptable to be used. We take a brief 2-minute break, and then there's a 50-minute essay session. We are hopeful and feel good that all materials will be collected and students will be on their way home with the buses departing at approximately 1 p.m. If you did answer yes, lunch will be provided that day. If you filled out the form, you could head to the cafeteria and pick up your lunch as well from to-go containers if you ordered that. And the last thing that I want to go over is how to bubble your answer document. This is what your answer document is going to look like. And in that first 30 minutes before we start testing, students will fill in basic demographic information. But if you notice, this is a good example of how to do it. You're going to write in the boxes at the top and use capital letters. Underneath each letter, you want to color in the letter that corresponds with what is in the box above. Okay, if you notice, there's just one bubble per vertical line here. Then we will go through the rest of the information with you, but another example would be your address. Make sure that you know your address. That would be the number and the street that you live on. But if you when you skip a box, if you need a space, you would skip a box, leave it blank, and then fill in the empty bubble at the top of that row to designate the space. So in this example, the street is 1200 North Broadway. So the last thing that you will be required to do on test day is each student is eligible for 4 free score sends on test day. For the most part, colleges and universities will accept test scores that are on a high school transcript. but some universities will not, and they require the scores come directly from the College Board. On test day, you get to select up to 4 places to send your scores for free. After the test, students would have to log into their College Board account to request their score be sent and pay a $12 per score send processing fee. This is solely up for you to decide, but if you are a student athlete who is registered for the NCAA or NAIA clearinghouses, then please make sure you send your scores to them. It is your choice, and you do not have to send your scores anywhere if you choose not to. Thanks for listening. There's a lot more information to come in the coming week. Please make sure and check your email regularly. This not just for us, but over the next month, seniors, you're really heading into financial aid applications, college admissions, and there's going to be a lot of information coming your way. For us in Student Services, email is the quickest, most efficient way to get information to you. So please, please, please make sure that you're checking that email regularly. Thanks, and see you next week.